Alrighty, so this will be an update about the current European oil crisis going on. So the White House has recently raised alarms over Europe as Putin has threatened the energy supply. White House officials are growing increasingly alarmed about Europe's energy crisis and Russian President Vladimir Putin's threats to force a cold winter. Western allies have attempted to impose a limit on the price that consumers will pay for Russian oil in an effort to punish Russia for invading Ukraine and potentially force them to retreat. But Putin stated last week that Russia will retaliate by stopping oil and gas shipments, which could ruin the economy of Europe and potentially harm the U.S. by driving up global energy prices. Putin's aggressive language is seen by United States officials as partially a bluff, given that Russia depends heavily on energy exports to fund its military operations. Nearly 40% of the natural gas Europe uses for heat and electricity came from Russia before the war started. But while White House aides don't believe that a recession in Europe would necessarily lead to one here, economists, energy analysts, and internal White House evaluations all agree that a complete cutoff of Russian oil supplies will substantially affect the United States economy. So some economists and Wall Street analysts have said that inflation may be peaking. However, according to two White House sources, administration advisors are concerned that if Putin interrupts oil and gas exports, the situation could quickly get worse again. For fear of upsetting Putin, several European governments are resisting efforts to establish a cap on natural gas prices. According to the Treasury Department and Council of Economic Advisors, a European recession's effect on the United States will likely be limited and controllable. Reason being, less than 1% of the United States GDP is derived from trade with Europe, and the United States also generates enough natural gas on its own to be unaffected by Russia's restriction of flow into Europe. It would be more so bad for the citizens of the United States, as the U.S. government would likely be forced to raise prices of gas again, considering the supply versus demand. But there may not be many possibilities left for the United States to assist Europe with its energy crisis, because approximately 70% of U.S. export gas currently travels to Europe. The United States has already surpassed its target for this year, sending 15 billion cubic meters more natural gas to Europe. U.S. businesses have shipped 30 billion cubic meters of energy to Europe since March, which is more than twice as much as they shipped during the same period last year. According to Matthew J. Slaughter, an economist at Dartmouth College, if Europe plunges into a depression after Russia shuts off energy exports and oil rises to $150 a barrel, there is a possible impact to the United States there that could be really bad. If a depression or recession were to occur in Europe, the effects shouldn't be as drastic in America, considering that the United States generates enough natural gas on its own here. However, it would then cause gas prices to rise in America, and that would in turn hurt the citizens. So as far as government goes, they probably won't be affected as badly, but the citizens would feel the most pain from this. And that will recap the updates on the current energy crisis, oil crisis over in Europe. I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you.